What's up? I'm not sure how good this is going to work because I'm using a directional mic with whatever this is called, low cut filter jacked up all the way and the gain jacked up, cut out the birds. Anyways, this is the bike we're kind of working with here, the YZ125. Got some really old videos of this. Been meaning to take some more, but anyways, it stopped running recently, and what happened was spark plug fouled again because it fouled 2 years ago. Of course, it did again. And I think what happens is carburetor settings are off. So either too much fuel, too much oil, because it's a fuel oil mixture for 2-stroke. This is the plug that was in there. Can't see it too well because the lighting. What it is just charred black, completely charred black. So it was getting soaked. Probably, I'm guessing not enough air. So on these bikes, basically what you have is you can adjust the amount of air that gets in with, there's like an idle air mixture screw. You also have the idle mixture screw, and you can also fuck around with the jets. But what's usually recommended is there's a screw on the side. Where is it at? Mine's really gnarly, so it's kind of hard. Right there. That's the idle air screw for the air mixture. And that is supposed to be the idle speed, but on mine, since this thing's so old, it doesn't really do shit. I have to do straight from the cable. So basically, the recommended screw, I don't even know what you would call it. The recommended setting for the idle air screw is to, put it in all the way to where the screw's seated, and then back it out 2.5 turns. But it was only backed out 2 turns, which basically tells me it was getting a lot more fuel than air than it's supposed to be. I mean, I guess that comes out to what, 25% more. Yeah, 25% more fuel than what's recommended. So I'm not sure if that's what did it. I mean, it used to run good, so maybe depending on whoever installed the piston, it's got the Wiseco. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be like that, but anyways, the plug, as you just saw, is really screwed. So also it was the wrong plug. So here's another thing. So I got the new plug, the right plug, put it in there, boom, fired right up instantly, like one freaking kick. And so what I went ahead and just backed out the idle screw to three revolutions out, three counterclockwise. It's freaking annoying to say, but yeah, 3 counterclockwise, and then backed out the idle on the actual idle screw. But then what I did is I did the actual cable screw. I kind of raised that up to artificially add to the idle. Now the bike ran. It ran all right. I took it in the woods by my house. But now the issue is basically when it's hot, when the bike gets warm after like 5-10 minutes, the idle just drops lower, 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 and lower. And so I can artificially jack up the idle with the cable screw. But then what happens is I'll have it idling good, and then bike gets cold. Let's say I go to start it again. Idle is going through the roof. The thing is going bang, 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 and it's freaking out, like at least for 5 minutes. It has to heat up all the way. So I got to figure out what the hell's up with that, because that's not good. Because first of all, it heats up the engine too much. Well, good thing it's got radiator cooling. But the worst thing is you don't want to be sitting there getting into first gear and you don't even have to give it any throttle and the bike's just taking you away. Like, it is literally pulling the bike away without giving it any gas. Nobody wants that, because then basically that makes it impossible to ride trails. You can't ride trails like that. So anyways, I hate this thing. We got another bike right here. Hate that thing too. That thing's fucked. Throttle cable is totally stuck. You got another bike here. Classic Yamaha fashion. It leaks out of the petcock and out of the carburetor. So yeah, these Yamahas, man, the carburetor foots, Every single one of them I've ever owned. I had a TTR 125, leaky carburetor. 250, leaky carburetor. Petcock, leaky. This thing never leaked out of the carburetor, but it leaked out of the petcock, and then I let it sit. We let it sit in the shed for a year, and I guess the ethanol gummed up the petcock enough to where it doesn't leak anymore if I leave it on a quarter turn just to barely let the gas bleed through. So anyways, we're going to figure this shit out.